everybody, welcome to Elisa's Art Room. Today we're going to be working some more in my wild and muted junk journal. Y'all come in and say hi, get a sound check, make sure we can hear each other. Well, not each other, I can't hear you. Let's see, where's it at? Oh, it's not showing. Come on. Let's see. Each other, I can't. Oh, there it is. Thanks, Dawn. Dawn beat me to it. Thanks for letting me know the sound is good. Today we're going to be doing some pockets. In case I didn't say, we're live on Facebook. If you see the little red button at the top left, if not, you're catching a replay either here on YouTube. And we're going to do some doily pockets. I've already got some doilies and glued them onto some coffee filters. And I'm going to glue one in front of you, show you how I do it. Most of you have already seen it, but I'll do it again. And I'm going to use those for the centers. So we haven't done the center pages yet, which are these B kind of pages. And all I'm going to do is just put some doily pockets on there, and then we'll make some sort of a journaling card or a tag or something to go in there. So pretty basic stuff, but that's what I decided to do. So let's see. Got a couple people on. Sound is good. Hey, Bonnie. I'm going to go ahead and pull this camera up top so we can get started. Come on, flip. Focus. Focus, focus, focus. There it goes. All right. So, like I said, I just decided to just go ahead and do some doily pockets. I figured it's the best way to fill these. I think I'm just going to have them be in the center like this. That's what I'm guessing. So, to make these, I just use coffee filters. They can be coffee dyed. I flatten them out. Usually when you wet them, they flatten. Okay, get back in focus, camera. Come on. I'm waiting for it to catch up, see if that worked. No, did not. Okay, why are you being... Come on, focus. It's going to be temperamental today. What is up with that? There we go. Thank you. Oh, wow. I'm way crooked now. Oh, no. My camera's just way behind. Okay. Somewhat crooked. It's like, it's hard for me to see over the top there. It still looks crooked. All right. Let me try to stand on my tippy toes. What is going on here? Is that better? All right, I think that's better. All right. So anyway, doilies, coffee filters, and the only reason I use both is because, well, one, it looks cool, but two, it helps your tag or whatever it is you're putting into the pocket. Just grab a piece of paper or something. Let's see if I can find something. Whatever you're putting in, so it doesn't snag on all these little holes. Okay, so that's kind of my thought process on that. And you can use vellum too. This one's like got a double layer there, some piece. Vellum will work just as well as a coffee filter, either way. But these are avocado dyed. Sometimes you get this nice kind of pinkish color. Sometimes it's more brown. It really depends, I guess, on your avocados. So all three of these have either coffee dyed or avocado dyed, kind of a mixture. And I've already glued these. And then I'm going to glue this one in front of you just so you can see how I do it. And then we're going to find something to put in them. I'll figure that out as we go. And they're just going to go in the center spots on each one of these journals. And they all have this bee themed paper that I got. I believe it was Yasm, maybe? I'm not sure. It's in the description of my YouTube video for it. It talks about the paper. But I don't have it in front of me, so anyway, there's 3. And let's glue one of these in front of y'all so you can see how that works. It is kind of tricky, I'm not gonna lie. Gluing the doilies on there is a little bit tricky. Just because of the holes that you're dealing with. So I get my doilies mostly from Dollar Tree. I have the package here somewhere. Oh, there it is. So these are the ones I typically buy. It's just a assorted pack at Dollar Tree. And I don't use the bigger ones as much, but they work pretty good if you're doing like a fold pocket. But this one's going to be like a half fold pocket, so I think this middle size will work real well. I noticed that these are slightly different than my last batch. They still have the rows, but I don't see, oh, you know what? It just really faded a lot from coffee dyeing it. It's still there. It's like a little line of leaves. I guess, yeah, they're like little leaves. See them? But you can't really see them on the ones that are flattened out and everything. All right, so first thing you want to do is get yourself something to glue on. It could be a silicone sheet or a piece of cardboard or whatever, because it has holes. And then you got to figure out which is the front, which is the back. Usually it's easy to tell. This one's pretty squishy, but that's the back. So you can use glue stick. I wouldn't say it adheres the best. I prefer art glitter or even this Barely Arts, but the problem is it dries so fast. It's hard to get around all of this without it drying on you. But if you use like matte medium or something like that, you're going to get a lot more wrinkling and it's going to be difficult to control. So this is what I typically do, is a combination of either glue stick and this, or glue stick and the art glitter. So we're going to do this Barely Arts because I bought it, I might as well use it. And so basically take the glue stick on everything that's bigger, like the middle, and don't pull too much on the thin areas, because if you hit those thin areas and you pull, they're going to rip. They're very fragile. So usually kind of cover up this big area. Try not to touch the glue too much, because if it sticks to your finger, it's also going to rip, you know. So there's that. And then I'm going to hit these larger flowers with a little bit of this, because this dries a little bit slower than my art glitter or the Barely Arts. So it gives me the longest working time. I prefer these two because they don't warp the doily as much. So get that on there, and then I'm going to go around with my second glue, and I'm going to try to hit as much of this, okay, glue. I know I had the pen in there. Okay, hit as much of the little lines as I can without going through too much. Now, this particular pattern has kind of got long lines, so you can kind of just go along them. And then a couple of the little ones, they're not as big of a deal. Just hit as much as you can. You don't want too much glue, you know, everywhere else. I gotta figure out where I can touch and not glue my finger to it. So, and then I'm gonna go around the outside last. I might hit a few of these that look dry. Try to get as close to the edge as you can, so it's flat, but you can kind of go back in after a little bit. So just try to get a decent amount of glue. And hopefully it hasn't dried on you before you get it down. That's the tricky part. Oh, I might have missed this whole spot, didn't I? Okay. So you gotta grab a spot. Now, lining it up is a little bit tricky, but these are pretty much exactly the same size. So I just try to find an edge on the left and the bottom and the top. Usually it will hit pretty much right. So it's pretty close. And then gently tack it down. Make sure you don't have glue on your fingers. Grab yourself something to smooth it with gently. It does tear easy, so you got to be gentle. I'm trying to get it mostly smoothed down. And then at that point, I just kind of go through and see if there's really bad edges that didn't glue down. So, and you can just take your glue and just kind of run it under those. So, just a little bit wherever you need it. It's not too bad. I mostly got most of the edges. Okay, and that's what I do. And then if it feels a little bit sticky, grab yourself some sort of powder. It could be just a talc powder, makeup powder, any kind of powder you have, even that embossing powder that you use to keep your embossing from sticking where you don't want it. I'm trying to put my brush. Oh, there it is. This is just it's a makeup powder, but it's got mostly talc and some other things. So talc I know isn't good for you, but I'm not putting it on me a lot, so, and I'm not breathing it that much. So I just put that on there because, you know, you're dealing with all these holes, and if there's anything sticky, it will stick somewhere you don't want it to stick. So the powder helps a lot. Okay. That is it. That's how I do those. And if they seem a little wrinkly, you could flatten them out. I would put maybe some wax paper on each side just in case they're sticky, and flatten them. But usually I don't have an issue with them not being flat. So that's it. All right, done and done. So then you just decide how you're going to fold them. You can sew them if you're going to do a regular pocket like I've done. Let me just show you. It's not what I'm going to do today, I don't think, but grab my book of ideas. And so I've done different kinds. Like I have this one that's folded. This is just a coffee filter. And then this one is a doily version for a pocket. So you can do lots of different things with it. We're just going to do a very simple one today for the middle, but that just kind of gives you an idea of things you can do. I think that's the only ones I had in here. Yeah, so you get the idea. And you can sew around them or not, but if you sew around them, just make sure your glue is completely dry. So what I'm going to do is fold them in half. I might glue them again. I'm debating. I think I might. So find a good folding spot. Usually I try to hit it on a seam if I can, so that it looks somewhat even. And you know, maybe with a top like that. I think that's kind of close. So I'm going to fold that there. And then I was thinking, I might glue it so that it's a little sturdier, because I really only want this quarter part. You could make two out of it if you really wanted to, but if you glue it, it definitely is sturdier. So let me think about if I want to do that or not. So I'm just going to put this in like this, And it's just going to be 2 pockets. Now, it could be 4 pockets if you wanted, but I'm leaning toward just doing 2 or cutting it in half. Because I kind of want the coffee filter on the inside. So maybe I'll cut it. I mean, it's pretty sturdy. Honestly, I could probably just do that. If I glue it, I'm going to end up with this part, which might snag. And I really want this part. So I think I'm going to cut it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to split them. And then I'm going to fold it and then have it sewed in the middle here when we sew them in. I'm not going to do it now, although I might just tack a little glue there. So I'm going to go ahead and just make 4 out of this. 4 pockets, basically. So I like this color, so that means I'm not going to need all of these. And I think I'll do this color. And then I'll just decide where to put them. So let's do this one real quick. Let me just fold it real quick. Now I gotta figure out tags and stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do for tags. So, see about there. That's about right. I think that's about right. Sometimes they're not even at all. Depends on your doily. These are pretty close. Okay. And 4. If you really wanted it even sturdier, you could always throw vellum or something underneath. But we're just going to do this. So I think I want to cut it here and here. So how am I going to cut that? Probably scissors. Debating on using a X-Acto blade, but it might tear. Definitely not going to use my cutting machine because I don't trust that at all. I think I'll just use scissors. So I want this one. I want the one with the center. So I'm going to cut this line. I'm just going to go on the fold line. If it doesn't work, I don't know. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but it should work fine. If you hear any noises, hubby's gonna fix himself a burger before he has to go to work, so he might be banging pots and pans. So I definitely want those. And then I think one of these. Okay. So that's 3. We only really need 3. So I made too many, but that's okay. I'll use them another time. And then, so for this one, put this like this. Let's fold it this way. That way I've got the coffee filter on the inside and it won't snag so much. It's kind of buckling a little bit on that fold, but that's okay. Right there. I probably don't have it glued perfectly down. Let's see if I can get that out. That's a little better. Okay. So this is going to go here. Now, when I sew it in, I'm going to do a 5 pocket stitch. So 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to see. I think I can get two of them to hit it. Let me just grab my template here. Should be able to get 2 to hit it. I can get 2 to hit it, so that's good. I don't like it when only one string hits. We don't want that happening. So, but I am going to get a little teeny bit of glue because I really don't want to use too much glue because it doesn't lay as well sometimes when it folds. So I might just put a little to just kind of tack it in place. I'm going to put it here, so maybe that's enough, and I won't put it here. I just got to make sure that I'm on the fold exactly before I glue it, or it won't work right. So I'm going to fold that in half. Just make sure it's on the fold. And then I got to see if it's going to stretch any. It's a center, so it shouldn't move too much, because there's not like pages in between or nothing. I think it'll be all right. If it feels like it's going to be an issue, I could just cut it. Sometimes it is going to be an issue, and when you fold it, what happens is the top layer wants to move slightly. So I'm trying to see if it's moving any. It's hard to tell. Let me put a little clip there. Let's see if I can tell if it's moving any. As if it's moving, that won't work. Is it moving? It is moving a little. I'll show you what I mean. Let me see. I'll put a clip here first. So if I put a clip in the middle, right there, I'll show you what happens when you fold the page. Okay, so watch the gap. As I fold, do you see how it starts gapping? Like right here. And it's because there's just a little bit of difference between the depth of this on this paper and the depth behind the paper. So it tends to move. And the only way really to get around that is to cut it down the middle. Because there's really not another way to get around it. It's just going to move. And I really don't want that buckling there. So I'm just going to cut it. I didn't want to cut it. I was going to sew it. If you're not gluing the bottom, it's not an issue. Like if this was an envelope or a paper bag that was just in the middle, it's not an issue. It doesn't affect anything. But when you're gluing part of it, it is an issue. So you have to kind of think of all these things. So we're just going to cut these into quarters, and then I will just attach it. And maybe I'll move it to the outside. I don't know. I'll think about it. It's either going to be on the outside or the inside. I don't know. I was going to put it on the inside because I was thinking I wasn't going to cut it, but I really don't like that wrinkle. I think once I cut it, I'll be able to get some glue in there. But the problem is there's no... I think my glue was not wet enough right there. So I'm going to try to get a straight cut. All right. So I could put it here still, but then I'm going to have that gap. So what I might do instead is put it on the outside. And this way. That way I don't have the weird spot in the middle. Still works the same, it just looks a little different. We won't have it sewn in the middle then. So we'll do it that way. I think it'll work best. How many do I need? 6. Okay, so I need all 3 of these. Yeah, you gotta kind of play it by ear. See what works for you. This one's got that weird fold too. Let me see if I can find the correct line. Which one is it? See what it's doing. Makes it very difficult to see which is the spot. Okay. Fold where I want you to fold. There. Kinda, sorta. I know it's off a little bit. I'm just gonna go off it to the right a little. So I have a feeling it's just not... Yeah, it's just not glued well there with the glue stick. Oh, helps if you take the pen out. That's the issue with glue sticks. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. So if you get any spots like that, just lift them up and give them a little bit of glue. This one seems okay. Is it? I think it is. Can't tell. It's hard to separate. That one's not too bad. What about this one? Yeah, this one's got a bit more of a gap. I don't usually do this on the item, but try to. I might get confused as to which one goes to which one. Not that it's a big deal, but all right. So that goes there. That goes there. Let's see if we have a gap here. It's probably not a big deal, and honestly, once you glue it down, it probably wouldn't be an issue. I'm gonna put a little glue there anyway. Just because. There. Alright, so that's that one. Let's go ahead and glue this one in. I'm just going to glue it on the two sides. I think this color looks good with these flowers. Just a little bit, like a 1/16 of an inch or so. And this one. But I think they make cute pockets. Oh, hey Lori, I missed you coming in. Bit off there. I think they'll be strong enough. Let me find that card. I feel like I'm gonna want something a little bit bigger, but these are kind of small. Didn't get a lot of, with this particular set, I didn't get a lot of big tags or journaling cards. Where can I put this one? Boy, this one's thick. And then this one. So I think I want the coffee dyed one on this one. This one here. I think I'll go better with it. So how are we on our edges? A little bit open still. So yeah, that glue didn't grab great on the inside. I have fingernails, so it's hard for me to separate it. I still can't grab it because no fingernails. There. Yeah, it really didn't hold at all. Go figure. It's like not the whole section, just parts of it. That's okay. Okay, so I'll do this one like so, I think, and then like so. Yeah. I didn't print out any more pictures from any of those digitals. I'll have to see what I have left. They're not super square, so there's a little bit of difference, but that's okay. Not a huge deal. But you could sew these I'm not doing sewing today, so I'm not doing any sewing, but you could sew like here if you wanted to give it a little more flourish. It's not necessary, but you can to make it pretty. Okay, there's that one. That's pretty. And then the last one is this one. I think there's enough pink in here to carry this off. I colored these with those colored pencils. Seems okay. Seems all right. Debating which side I want up. I want that side up. So that is a little bit different. Yeah, I like it that way. Hey, Angela. We're just doing some doily pockets. Doily coffee filter pockets. Combo pockets. Find the edge of this. I'm not going all the way to the edge, remember. That way, if I do decide to put lace or anything like that, I have a little bit more room to play with. Plus, because it's not square, you know, my doily isn't completely square. It's not as obvious than it is if you try to get right on the edge of the paper. I'm not sure if I'm going to put lace on these or not. I haven't decided. I might not. It's a little bit sticky there. I can't tell where it's coming from. Where is it? There's some powder down. All right, there. So we have doily pockets for all of our centers. And let's figure out something to put in them. So these are what we have. Let's see. What is left? It's words. We don't need the words. Larger things. So I'm going to try to find some larger things. Let's see. Too small. Too small. Butterfly's kind of larger. No. I think I already used one of those, so no. What is left? It's kind of a small piece. I don't think I can use that. These aren't very tall. Ideally, I think it needs to be a little taller. Let's see. Yeah, those are too small. You can add things to these middle parts here if you want, like some sort of little flower or whatever. Possibly add these. I'm not sure what it would look like. Got a blue one, an orange one, white one. Might be the right size. It's just the cover, so I can cut it up as much as I want. I might do that, we'll see. And still trying to find something the right size. So possibly this, I have this one. Can I cut that down and make it work? Maybe. It's kind of big. Yeah, I've used this already. It would look good. Look at this deer. Have I used that deer? I'll have to look through and see if I've used those. I don't remember. I know I used the mushrooms, but I used the mushrooms cut out. It is possible. I could still use it like it is. I used it cut out. What else do we got? Just papers. I don't have a lot of Stamperia stuff that's the right size. Everything's small. This, I could use one of these maybe, if I can find, if it'll match a color. Does it look awful with the bees? It's really not a great color for any of these, honestly. So maybe not. I'm pretty sure all these are too small. They're cute, but they're just really small. They're not going to work in this. Too small. So no to that. What else? Got any little things that would look cute? I hate taking these out. Always make a mess. Let's see, what do we got? We have typewriters. This little tag. I don't like the shape. So no. Kitty cat. Doesn't really go with the bee theme, but it's cute. Butterflies. Not feeling it. Might not have anything in here. Square. The color's nice, but I don't know about the square shape. Possibly. The color is good, but I only have one. I don't know what to put on the other side. If there's anything. Trying to see. Maybe not. Coffee cups. I don't know that the themes are working great. I have some Tim Holtz die cuts. I could look through those. And I might have 49 market die cuts that would work. So maybe I'll look through those. I was trying to use as much of the Stamperia as I could, but I'm just not having a lot of luck. Only one that really kind of looked halfway decent. The girl's not bad, but she doesn't fit either. So I think not. So maybe let me look at the die cuts that I have. Let's see what I have that might go in those centers while we're trying to figure out pockets, cards. Let's see. Not that. I should have printed some, but I did not. No. Still too small. Too small. No. It's not cardstock. I could put it on cardstock, but it's not cardstock. See these butterflies? Attach them to something. Think about that. I may have to do it another day if I can't find anything that I've already printed. I know I've got some backdrop papers. Let me see what colors those are. Might be a color in here. These are thick. These are 49 Market Vintage Artistry Nature Study 6x8 ledgers and solids. They're kind of muted. And they're very basic backdrops. The green's nice with that, isn't it? I do like that green. I'm not sure how it goes with the red, or the other color. So these just have like two sides ledger and one side that's kind of like a watercolory look. So maybe that. It could be simple, and then we could put something just basic. And then maybe I can find a smaller picture or something. I don't know. Maybe I can find some die cuts to put on it or something like that. I'll look. So I'm trying to get all these colors together so I can kind of see. That one's got mostly pinks and this is what that says, just so you can see it. It came in that set I bought, that mystery box set. Oh, it's got something different there. Why has it got two of those? How weird. This beige color. Maybe this color. It's not terrible. Try and find something for this. There are some blues in here. Let me see. I just don't know if it's going to clash too much with the avocado dye. Maybe if I find a color that will pull it all together. I'm just thinking of making like 2 cards with this. Something like that. And then put something on it. That's kind of where I'm thinking. I need to use these. I got them. I need to use them. I haven't really found a use for them yet. What color is that? It's almost like a purpley color. It kind of looks good with this one. It's too much stuff. I'm not sure about this. This is kind of dark. It's not bad. Maybe that one instead. It's not quite as dark. Maybe that one. We'll keep this close just in case I decide to use it. But I think that one's better. Getting too much stuff, guys. Where did that stack of papers go? Where was I at? What do you think? I think, which one? The lighter? The words will be sideways on this one because it does have words. I don't know if it's a big deal if they're sideways. This has words too, but it's not as obvious. I kind of like the little bit of white in it though. Yeah, what do y'all think? Should I do this one because it doesn't have sideways words? Or should I do this one because it has more white? Decisions, decisions. It's got blues. I need like a yellow. I don't have like a yellow. I have a beige. That's more of that. I know there's two there. They're the same. Okay. Maybe of the beige. Maybe the beige. It's not perfect, but it does have a, because there's a lot of yellow in this. I don't know. Green, blue, beige. I'm not feeling that one. I think either this one or maybe blue. You like the one with the white? Okay. Because it pulls in a little more white, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking too. Let's try that, maybe. This one had an option with white too, with the words. If I can find it. This one. We could keep them all kind of the same. Alright, then we have to figure out if we have anything that we can put on the front. That is the question. I do not know for sure. I'm going to try. Alright, so if nothing else, they could just be like they are, journaling cards. And this will be sideways. It is what it is. I'm not going to use 4 and cut them down. I could. It's not like I don't have enough. If I wanted, I could just cut it down and use the other one. But I don't think it really matters. You can just write sideways. What do you think? So, would you rather, if you're thinking of possibly purchasing it, would you rather me take, because I have a bunch of these, and I really haven't found a lot of uses for them, honestly. So I can either use this one, split in half, sideways, or I can cut it down to fit the right way, you know, just a little bit smaller, because I'm pretty sure I have doubles of all these. So I would double of that one. I don't think I've used them. Let me just make sure. A double of this one. And then the brown, gray, whatever color that is. I guess it's gray. It's hard to flip through these. I feel like I'm dropping things. And a double. Alright, so I have all of them. So should I just make them fit and just so that the writing's the right way and the lines are the right way? And use my doubles? Because that still leaves me with a ton. I still have like all this. So it's not like I don't have enough, honestly. I might do that. I do kind of like having things straight. So maybe I'll do that. So let's see what I can put on these, if anything. Talking myself into it. Okay, so Tim Holtz Nature type ephemera or 49 and Market. I've got both. Ugh, this is heavy. Okay, so something more muted. What do we got that's kind of muted? Some marshmallows, some mushrooms. I don't know where that came from. They're being very loud down there. Some pinks. It's not really pink, it's, I don't know what color you would call that. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what the color is. It's kind of mauve, but not. It's like burnt orange. What is in this set? Yeah, that's going to be too pink. It's a pretty set, but I think it's too pink. But it is pretty. Alright, so not that one. I've got this one. This is the Viking. Not sure how much of it I have left. I have chipboard. Where are these at? Did I already use them? No, they should be. Oh, they're kind of small. Yeah, okay, so not that probably. Colors aren't horrible, but the selection's not great. Let's see what's in here. That's been my hardest part with this, is finding colors that will work. This. It's kind of big. Does it look good with that? I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. I'm just not feeling it, guys. Where was this? In here. Alright, so no to this. In there. No. I might not have anything in here. Some of these are cool, but they're just, the shapes just aren't quite right. Mushrooms are kind of neutral. Let me see. I need to set this somewhere else. There, maybe. Okay. So we got beige. And then this kind of, I don't know, grayish purple color. And green. What do we got in here? I've used so much of this. Get some birdies. Maybe. I don't know if I'll have enough. A fern. Maybe that. There's two of them. tearing them. It's hard to do. Okay. So I've got one for each card. And then I might put like a word or something. I don't know. I haven't decided. So that's not too bad. So that, and then let's see this beige one. Maybe the birdies. I don't think I have two of those. I don't have one. It doesn't have to take up the whole card. These are going to be smaller. I'm going to cut them down a little bit. They're not going to be quite this big. I like this bird. If I can get it out. Come on. Just don't rip. Snag it on everything. There. All right, birdie. And then for the other one, maybe, I think I'm going to try to do mushrooms on that last one. I don't know how it'll look, but it might be all right. Let's see. Try and see if I have something I can attach one of these other birds to, or I could just have it by itself. He's got a funny tail. Is there like a tree stump or something? No trees left. There's a tiny little piece right there. Let's see if we can get you out. I just want to try to give them a little more substantial tree to hold on to. And they can be at the top or the bottom. It really doesn't matter. Let's see. Because I think I'm going to have them on whatever side works with the drawing. What if I put this something like, I'm debating if I can fit it on here some way, make it look believable. Probably more sideways, like from an edge. Let's see, go from an edge like this maybe. I could cut that off. Just debating if I can make it work. That might work. All right. We're going to say I can make it work. Can I or can't I? I don't know. Does it match the pink? Okay. Okay, do I have two small things? Got a butterfly. Are they two directions? I may not put anything on the centers if I can't find anything that'll work. Maybe. We'll think about those. I'm going to set them up there. Hey, Deb. And then we got a mushroom one somewhere here. Let's see if we can find something with mushrooms that will work from that last set. All right, so this needs to go back over here. Trying not to get them confused. That goes there. This goes here. This goes here. Then we have this one. I think mushrooms will work okay with this, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. What do we got? I've used a lot of the big mushrooms already. May not have any left. There might be some in my Tim Holtz stuff. If I can't find anything here that'll work. So I guess it doesn't have to be big. I do like that mirror. Just the color is actually really good. I don't know that it fits the theme greatly, but the color's cool. What would you put in the middle of it? Is it supposed to be a magnifying glass? Maybe that's what it's supposed to be. I guess that kind of makes sense. And then this one has like a square one. They look like mirrors to me, but I don't know. So this one has, like, I guess this mushroom. And then the other one had that mushroom. I'm not sure what the purpose is, if they're magnifying glasses or if they're mirrors. I guess they're supposed to be magnifying glasses. Right? Logically, I guess. Maybe. Like that. Oh, why not? Why not? We'll see if we can get this back together and see what we got. Okay, you go over there. And so first we're going to cut down the cards to the size that I want. I'm trying to figure out where I can put this stuff so I don't lose it. Set them up here. You might be off your screen, but I'm just setting them up above me. Set the bird up there and the other bird up there. It'll be very naturey if nothing else. I need to get it so I can cut these cards out. Get a better size. Oh, we're gonna put you there. So I'm gonna cut all 4 of these cards and then we'll attach their little embellishments. So I think a good size, let's see. So I think I might have the white at the top. So I think for height, maybe about there. So let's go about here. And then somewhere about here. Make sure that's wide enough for everything. I think the widest thing is these ferns. Yeah. The mirrors, yeah, it's wide enough. Alright, so let's see what size that is. Approximately. So that is 4-ish by 7-ish. So we'll do 4 by 7. That should work. Alright, let's cut all these out 4 by 7. So 4 this way. It's a little more than 4, but I think 4 is enough. Let me see. Yeah, it should be plenty wide enough. And that gives me enough for like a bookmark or something left over, so I'm not totally wasting the whole piece. Just a little off the bottom there. So, and then we have this. It's kind of tall and skinny, but I think it will work. All right, so 4. Oops, I'm upside down. No? Yes? No. No, I'm not. It's hard to read that print. 7. Okay, there's those 2. That's the top. Which side do I like better? I kind of like this side, I think. So let's turn it around. 4. 5, 7. This one the same way. So we want this side cut off. Those 2. Kind of plain on the back. That's okay. They're very thick, so they definitely don't need any other support. Now, these have numbers. These don't have numbers. So I'm gonna maybe keep the numbers on this one. So we'll take off this side. So 4. And then the bottom is this side. I think it's really the only one that had a very specific design. So that still gives me that look on the back. And so take off this side. Right? Yeah. Okay, there's all of our cutting done. Now, we'll start with this one. So this one was beige? No, this one was green. Right? Yeah, the colored one was the beige one, right? This one's beige. Alright, so this is beige. I think I should round these corners. Yeah, I think I will. So this is beige and birds, right? Beige and birds. 2 B's. Is that the outside? Alright, so beige and birds is that one. This one is green and ferns. So green, ferns, okay, and then the last one was it's not really purple, but we're going to call it, I don't know what color that is. We'll call it gray. Gray and, I don't know, flowers. Definitely has a right side up. So we're going to start with this one. We're going to round all the corners because I think it will look better. If my thumb can handle it. Might have to use my hand. It's more noisy, but thumb is not doing great these days. Too much yard work. The yard work, putting down mulch and carrying large bags of soil and everything. And then holding the garden hose. It's like this Tenoso Vitus stuff. Oh my gosh. So painful. I think. Yeah. Yeah. That's up. Up. Gotta put it in the pocket correctly. We'll fill that in a second. Stay. Sorry, I'm running out of space, guys. Alrighty. But I've been working in the yard a ton. Not something I do a lot because honestly, I just don't have the energy usually. But the HOA has been really hounding everybody about their yards. Every little thing. If your mulch isn't thick enough, if your grass has one weed, they will yell at you. I don't think I'm going to ink them. Thought about it, but it's kind of muted, and I don't think it needs it. I think I'm not going to ink them. I will say, though, as exhausting as yard work is, I usually feel better. You know, I might be sore for a while, but just the getting out in the fresh air, even though pollen counts like 2,000 right now. Luckily, pollen doesn't bother me. But I know my husband and my daughters are both like going insane. But it doesn't bother me. You still have snow on the ground? Oh my gosh. It's like 85 here. Definitely no snow. But so luckily the pollen doesn't bother me because the count is like extremely high. But I feel better. I don't know. Working out in the fresh air, you know, always makes you feel a little bit better. All right, so this is the ferns. Let's do this one first. Where are the tweezers? It's going to be a little tricky to glue. So I gotta decide which, I think these go opposite directions. So I think I want this one on this side so that it's on the outside more, and this one on this side. So try to get glue on here without making a mess. I'm gonna go back to my art glitter. I can't believe you guys still have snow. That just blows my mind. And granted, we're, you know, in Georgia, but still. I'm going to try to make sure that at least this bottom half edge is very down, because if it's not, it will snag going in and out of the pocket. It's going to be a little bit messy, I think. All right. Oops. I know I had some glue there. No glue. All right. Let's see if we can do this. About like this. Where's my little rag? I know it's going to ooze, but I'm going to try to get most of it wiped up. And like I said, I'll probably throw some powder on there too. I just don't want it to snag. It's the only thing about using a die cut on a tag like this is that sometimes they'll really snag a lot. Once that dries, it probably won't be an issue with stickiness, because it's a different level. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to worry about that. Let's set that up here. We'll do this one. Good coverage on this bottom. Yeah, so I planted some creeping phlox, some California poppies, some Shasta daisies. We put down new sod in an area under our oak tree where nothing wants to grow. So we've got some zoysia grass because the Bermuda just kept dying. So we're going to try it and see if it'll actually grow and not die. So the HOA will quit yelling at us. Even though it's not our fault they planted an oak tree there. And hopefully the zoysia will work. But I've had to water it, you know, every day to make sure it doesn't die. It's new sod. And then, of course, we have to keep mulch down, so they want you to refresh the mulch. So I had to do all the mulch, which means carrying, you know, heavy bags of mulch everywhere. And Dave's been working, so he couldn't help. You got a freak late storm, and it dumped a couple of feet. It's melting, but not enough to allow for much yard work. It was cold today. Wow. I don't remember where you are, Deborah. Are you like, what, Missouri? Oh, I can't remember where you are. But, yeah, I don't like cold. I'm a born and raised Florida girl, so I'm not into cold. Alright, I think that's good. These are cute, right? They're just very simple, but good journaling cards, I think. Let's see how they work. Ideally, I would like to let them dry just a little bit longer, but they look cute. I think they'll be fine once they dry. I put a lot of glue on there, so it really needs to dry a little bit longer before I put it in the pocket. So I'm just going to set it aside like this for now. I can find a spot. Maybe. Right. And then we're going to do Lower Michigan. Okay. What was an M? I was close. I usually remember letters, like the first letter of something. All right, these are the birds. Okay, so let's see which one looks better on which side. So I think this little bird needs to go on this side because I need it to come from the edge. Something like, I think like that. Yeah. And then this one, let's see how I can fit this one. It's going to end up going in the pocket some. I really didn't want it to, but I think it's going to end up. I can't tell. Like there, maybe? Yeah, I think so. Okay. So let's do that. All right. Little birdie. See if I can get them on there right. Usually I put them down, then I forget how they were oriented. We shall see. Again, a lot of little tiny pieces that are going to ooze, but I'd rather it have good coverage. It's less likely to snag if it has good coverage. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. I think. And this is just a piece of muslin, but it works really well for dabbing off glue. These are going to be cute. All right. So that's going to go like that. Cute. I like it. And then this one. They're kind of simple, but you know, sometimes simple is better. And I really didn't have a huge plan of how I was going to do this. I'm going to put this first. So let me find where it goes. I'm going to put this, his little foot's going to be on this one flower, so something like there. So I want this to go there and this to go about there. And we'll get the bird last. But anyway, the art's starting to look good. I like the creeping thyme. It's hard to find though. I do like it. Or not thyme, phlox, creeping phlox. It's like a low ground cover with cute little purple, bluish purple flowers. I'm trying to put it on this sloped area on the side of my yard where nothing wants to grow. But we planted some last, gosh, was it maybe November? It was late. We were worried about frost getting it, so I know it was late. And it did real well. It handled through the winter just fine, and we had a little tiny bit of snow. It did fine. It didn't freeze or die, so that's good. So I know it should be able to handle that. Just got a little rough spot there. I'm hoping it spreads out well, so we'll cover that whole area. Right now I had to put like some edging in and some mulch. And then hopefully the phlox will take over the area and I can get rid of the majority of that mulch. Alright, so let's see. I think I want this like here. Yeah, that. Cute. All right, that's cute, right? Next one is our little mirror thingies. This one's going to be a little more complicated to figure out where to put them. Let's see. We got a big one. Got a little one. So we've got this. I don't think I want it to sit on the bottom. I set it on the bottom, I'm trying to see where it would hit. If I set it on the bottom, it would be like that. Or I could pull it up on the kind of top edge and have it be kind of like that. I think I like that better. Same thing with this one. This one's square, but I think I could put it like that and like that. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be. They look like mirrors to me, but it talks about specimens and stuff on the thing, so it makes me think they're more like magnifying glasses, but I don't know. I don't guess it matters. What do you think? Do you like them kind of floating? Or should I bring them down and have them kind of underneath? They won't show as much when they're in the pocket if they're underneath. But they would be, you know, more seated when the tag is out. You know, it'll be on the ground instead of floating in the middle. What do you think? What should I do? Have it float, not have it float? This one would be like something like that. So let me see where that hits in this pocket. It's about there. Any thoughts, anybody? Floating, not floating? Floating or on the bottom? I mean, the bottom, I guess, makes more sense. The top shows more. But the top means, you know, when it's out, it's going to be like this. Is that a problem? I could put some little lines there to make it look like it has something to stand on. So it doesn't make it look like it's floating, but it shows better. You don't mind either way. I could stand it on something. Or it could just be there. It doesn't really matter, probably. Let me see. I know I have a bunch of what I call ground covers. Where did I see them? Saw them. Where did you see them? Scraps. Let's see if there's anything here. Interesting. Not sure about that. What else do you have? I don't know about the color. It's kind of cool, but I don't think the color works. Let me go back into that book. Where'd it go? There it is. Let me see if there's anything in here. I feel like it had bows or something. I don't know. Let me see. Sorry, I know I'm off camera, but I can't put it on the table. There's some tags. Let's see what that looks like. I don't know. What else is there? I think that's all there is. The tags is about the only thing I see. I know I'm off camera, just bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to find bits and pieces of things. Doesn't fit. Doesn't fit. What about the tag? Maybe just floating? I don't think it needs a ground. I don't think the ground's going to work. I think just floating. I don't know if it makes sense or not, but it's going to work best, I think. So we're just going to do them floating. That way you can see them and all that. Ouch, 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 ouch. Okay. So let's put these on. I would rather have the mirror above. So let me mark where that hits, so I can put it in there and at least have most of it showing. Yeah, that corner there, so about 1/4 of an inch from the top. Sometimes things just, you know, they don't have to be logical. You're telling that to a very OCD person, but that's okay. I'm going to try. Okay. So 1/4 of an inch from the top approximately, and try to get it straight if possible. Does that look straight? Straight. Okay. What time is it? Okay, we're okay. All right, and our little mushrooms. Try and get that glue there. All right, I think that's good. Looks good in the pocket. That's what matters, right? I think so. So we're just going to have them kind of at the top edge. No, I think all the way up. We'll do all the way up on that one. hopefully y'all are liking this. It's another one of my throw together ideas. Yeah, sometimes those are best. Sometimes. Okay, thank you, Deborah. I'm glad you're liking it. All right, there we go. Okay, cute. I think it looks good. It's a little journaling card on each of our center pages. So we have that one, and we have this one. I like the birds. Actually, I like them all. All right, so let's see. Does that show? I'm trying to see if it shows. Let me get this lid back on real quick. I didn't do this. I didn't do the butterflies. I don't have enough stuff to put in the middles here, so I'm just going to leave them blank. I think it's best. I have to figure out where to put my little butterflies. I'm going to put them somewhere. Stick them up there. Sometimes simple is better. All right. And then we have these little ferns. Okay, so that is our 3 centers. I think they turned out really cute. And I appreciate y'all watching. Be sure and like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I appreciate it. It does help my algorithm. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening and a wonderful Easter. We are not doing anything because Dave's working. But y'all have a wonderful one and take care. All right. Thank y'all for watching. Bye-bye.